Hello everyone, and welcome back to Krastorio 2. This is Otaku Showboat. If you have been enjoying this series thus far, please be sure to do all the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat and support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are inclined and able. So last time we met, I got through the logistic tech cards. We now have logistic science, and science is flowing on our main bus. And I'm currently working through a few techs. I will need to continue going down railway and picking up the bulk loaders, picking up the fluid wagon. I will also need, of course, train stops and signals. Like that's all necessary. I'll need to pick up circuit conditions and such as well. In the meantime, while those techs are going, what I need to do next is make some steel, because we need steel to get into the locomotives and rails. That will be our transition here, away from this beautiful main bus that we have built and that I have spent so much time planning out the production of and am not actually likely going to end up using in the end here. So I need coal to get into coke. I need coke for this steel. And this is wood plus coal equals coke. Pretty simple of a recipe to get steel plates. It looks like the steel beams isn't even out of steel, it's out of iron and coke, as well as the gear wheels. Huh. Why? That makes zero sense to me. Why would you do this? What even is the jackhammer used for? Oh, probably to remove concrete, I guess. No, you can make steel beams and gear wheels out of steel itself as well. Okay, so you have two options. Well, which option is better? So we've got two steel plates to one beam and one plate to one gear wheel. Okay. One plate, well, 5 plates is 2 and 10. So if I look here, I can do this in Hellmod. What am I doing? If I'm going to do a comparison like this, I can do this right here in Hellmod. There's apparently a rich text thing in Hellmod. Steel. I want to compare the recipes for the steel here. I want to see... Oh. Oh. Advanced assembling machine. Those come later. I see. Okay, so those come a lot later. We'll be just working with steel for now. Good to know. Good to know. That is that is good to make sure that I have noticed that at the beginning here. So I need some mining drills. Let's head on over to our little mall area to pick up some mining drills. And we will mine additional coal from our little coal zone here. And also, I was a little bit off in my thinking here, I believe, because, well, yes, this entire thing is going to consume 60 megawatts of power. Coal has a different fuel value. Coal has a different fuel value than vanilla in Krastorio 2, and I keep forgetting that fact. I keep forgetting about that. I shouldn't forget about it, yet I still do from time to time. Fuel value of coal is, I think, 6 megajoules? Yeah, 6 megajoules now. So of course 60 would be 10. items per second, so as long as I have enough mining drills for 10 items per second of coal, I should uh, be able to freely feed this thing on 20 on the output of just that many. It's feeding stuff below off of this line as well, so we're still fine. I already have that line of 30 that's going down into all of this mess. So if I really wanted to, I could leech off of all that, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to give things a copy and a paste here. Excuse me, but reach. You had better reach. Place down all these mining drills, and we'll be good to go. And then, of course, all of the belt as well. What I think I'll actually do here is something a little sneaky. Sneaky, or shall I say snaky? I really don't want to have the two lines like this, but I'm going to anyway. Just get rid of all the stuff in the way. Depending on how things work out here. Okay, so right here, I want my line of coal. I guess it can be right next to the wood. Ultimately. Yeah. So I want basically to have... Ooh, I think it'll be easier to have this like so. And that was the trick, by the way. I changed which set of mining drills is feeding what. So now our original set of mining drills are going to be feeding down here and onto the main bus. This will sit right next to the wood. And down we go. So there's the coal. Coal plus wood equals coke. And then coke plus iron equals steel. Pretty good, that. Pretty good, that. So down we go. The question, of course, is, well, how much steel do I want to make? That is a good question. I need at least as much to speed up as much as possible the production of my rails and locomotives and any other item in all of that that will also need steel. So any other building and etc. that is going to need steel would be great to have access to that. So I'm going to need probably a lot at the very beginning here. I do want those fast inserters. Q. Let's close the thing. That is not a thing that I wanted to do. Thanks, Windows. Fast inserters. These take steel plus parts plus green circuits. I want them greatly. So steel itself is done in a what now? Stone furnace out of coke, and then coke is done in a what now? A furnace. Okay, good. Good to know. Oh yeah, steel furnaces are great as well. So, quite a few furnace lines. I don't like this in these furnaces. So let me explain something here. These use a fuel. What fuel are these going to use? Right? It is going to be significantly better if this uses the fuel with the highest fuel value. Uh, in this case, the fuel value of the Coke is 10 megajoules, and the input fuel value is 6 plus 1.25, so 7.25 total megajoules in to 10 megajoules out, which means it is going to be significantly better if these were able to feed themselves on the coke that they produce, right? To have the fuel of what they produce be the fuel. But that's not how these are going to work by default. And that's a shame. They're going to either take one or the other of the iron or of the stuff and things. Which, yeah, that's slightly problematic. Slightly problematic. I'm going to need that to shift. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, putting these in here. So I've got 4. I'm going to want to double this to 8, I think. If that's even going to be enough. So this will take 0.13 each. This makes 0.38 each. So 1 feeds 3 stone furnaces, making steel. 1 into 3. That's unfortunate. A little unfortunate. Now these I don't have to worry about. These will just have the coke as fuel, without question. Like that's fine. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. Now, under normal circumstances, well, under Bob's inserters, I would be able to adjust these to be able to take and place in. I'd be able to set the input and output on an inserter to be the same location, and that would be one way in which I could force the output to be the fuel. But I can't. And it's just going to be random which these choose. So yeah, you see those top ones, they chose wood. They should have coal. These should have coal, not wood. And I would prefer it if they actually had coke. But oh well. Now, what else is coke used for? Is a great question. Nothing. Coal liquefaction, which I don't plan on doing at the moment unless I absolutely have to. So it's only going to get used for this. It's not going to be put onto my network at all. What's the vehicle Excel top speed? 60 and 70 compared to 50, 60. So it's better for cars, but eh. It pollutes less, I guess. It's still better fuel value. I mean, you gain a good amount of fuel value by doing this process. It's just I don't feel like it. So 4 of these fuel 12 of these, so half a belt of iron plates. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll stick with that for now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stuff, things. Pick up that into Train Supply Manager. And then we'll have all of the necessary rail techs that we'll need. I could use radars. Radars are great. let's see what else from here. Right, I probably need or would like to have some fuel for my trains out of actual fuel, which gives I guess a not vehicle speed debuff by using these, so I can get the full vehicle speed out of these, because vehicle speed applies to trains. If I tried to give my trains coal and coke, they'll be running slower than they would otherwise, right? I'm pretty sure that that would be the case. Having an automobile would also be great at this point in time, especially since I am setting up the steel for these. Now, again, these use fuel, so I actually need an extra production of coke here, just because I need to fuel the machines, right? I need extra to fuel the machines, and I actually want them to be fueled with coke where possible. For the moment, for this very moment in time, and since that's 7.5, that actually works out perfectly. Because that's going to be a lane of a yellow belt, and then doing this will let me use red belts. I can do red belts. Hey, hey. I do have exactly 15 per second. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have exactly 15 per second of the iron plates. So having that second line doesn't necessarily matter for the moment. And there we go. That will feed the stuff and the things. Now to get all of this powered. And yeah, that we now have steel. We now have steel being made. Steel plates. Once they put in a sufficient amount of stuff in the furnace, we'll be good. We'll be good. We'll have the things, and that is only 17 minutes, and we now have steel. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is just fine. Let us continue along with setting up all of the beautiful things that we're going to need for the rails and the trains and all of the other stuff. Okay, trains themselves will need green circuits as well as engine units. So engine units are going to require iron gear wheels, and pipes for those engine units every 10 seconds. That is faster than vanilla, I think. So the vanilla engine recipe is like real slow. Real slow. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be the first thing. Oh yeah, this is vanilla. Oh yeah, this is vanilla. That's what I was sort of expecting from the vanilla stuff. So let's see. Iron pipe, 1 makes 1 per second, so 1 into 10. Right. What I do here is this is 20. I have 2 of this. I have 2 of this plus the gear wheel. 1 per second gear wheel, and 2 per second pipe, and that feeds 20 of these. That's what I do for this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pretty sure that would be 20. Yep. Get those recipes done. I hate engine units with a passion. Absolute passion. And each one of these is going to need a long-handed inserter for their output as well, which makes it just even worse. just that much worse for these. But, well, here we go. Hey, I actually get to make use of the near inserter this time. Those can't do the thing fast enough, so let's do this thing. Actually, just with to be certain. Ba 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 ba. Power poles. Power, 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 power. And what I'll do is I'll copy, paste, 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 paste. Paste, 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 paste. The power pole's the easiest part of this because it's just click drag. Just click and drag, and there's your power pole placement done. Here's all these inputs. And yes, all this for 1 per second of engine units. It's overkill for the moment, anyway. On these engine units, it's a little bit overkill, but we'll just keep on managing, keep on trucking. Whoops. There we go. Engine units! We now has the engine units. Go ahead and throw them in a box for now, as well. Well, alrighty then, that covers those things. I now need the electronic circuits. So let me make some additional electronic circuits, and I can just copy and paste this from what I'm using to make my thingies. Logistic science tech cards. I'm gonna end up calling them logistic science tech cards, even though they're called logistic tech cards. Pretty sure, and not the word science isn't actually used in Krastorio, I think, for any of the science quote-unquote packs. I think, anyway. Yeah, it's just logistic tech cards, automation tech cards, basic tech cards, blank tech cards. I will copy you. Just wholesale. Oh, right. Do I want to do the extra wide? I think so. So this is that. It's like one tile off. I don't care. And it requires shifting of, or rotation of the inserters on this side. I need more inserters! Huzzah! Let's go. Let's go pick up some additional inserters. That'll produce like, I don't know, 4 per second, if I could feed it, but I don't think I can really feed it. I might be able to. We'll see. We shall see. Ah, fuel. that means I am getting closer to glorious things. Yeah, I don't want. I want you. Yes, you. And steel fluid tanks. Phew, 200,000 units. Yes, please. Yeah, yes, please. 200,000 units of stuff sounds great. Go ahead and pick up that mineral water automation 2. Uh, oh yes, you having mining productivity. Oh god. So mining productivity is a little bit of a trap. Um, and I will explain why it's a little bit of a trap. So mining drills can only operate if the hopper is empty, essentially. So you see how it's not operating right now because there's no spot to offload a thing on here. There's no spot to offload, and you've got a yellow light on these guys, little yellow light. Well, with mining productivity, what ends up happening is that you'll have a cycle complete with a productivity cycle, and you'll have 2 units of ore that are trying to be offloaded at the exact same moment in time, but belts have a speed associated with them, so they physically can't offload both units of ore at the exact same moment in time, because the first item gets offloaded and then that item blocks the second item for a very brief period of time. Which means for that very brief period of time, the mining drill will not be mining. So thank you, mining productivity, for making the mining drills slower when you are offloading onto belt. There are ways to get around this. In particular, the way to get around this is to, instead of offloading onto belt, offload into chests and use loaders to load and unload stuff on the chest down the line. That allows you to get the full throughput from mining productivity bonuses on your mining drills. Otherwise, you need to actually have more mining drills than you would otherwise think, given any particular mining productivity. It's weird. It applies. It's a vanilla issue. Guess you can call it an issue, but yeah, it's been part of the game like forever, and it comes up. It comes up. It's not that it just doesn't come up. It absolutely comes up and can be a problem. In every game, every playthrough, modded or unmodded, that is a very key thing to note, and especially if you're playing unmodded vanilla playthroughs, that's even more difficult to get around because the vanilla game does not have loaders. So what do you do to get around the slowdown? Uh, Faster belts help, but it's still not instantaneous, and yeah, it's just a pain. It's just a pain. You're pretty much forced to just tack on a few extra uh, mining drills on your line than you really need, just because mining productivity. Just because mining productivity, and trying to output more than one thing at a time onto a belt that can't take instantaneously multiple items at a time. You're always gonna get a reduction of stuff. Just no way around it, unless you have loaders. If you have loaders, you are good. But if you don't have loaders, you are screwed completely. You'll have to do some shenanigans. Shenanigans would need to be had with inserters and such. Come on, clean up this mess of a thing. I can make grenades, can't I? I have logistic science. I can do the grenade tech, right? Maybe. Maybe? Grenades? Yes, grenades. I can do those. Coal and iron. Hey, that'll help clean forest. Alright, so what's what here? I need an iron and wood. An iron and wood? Always off by one tile. And then the rest is copper. And I see that we have reached the natural conclusion of our video for today. We have reached that 30-minute mark. I will, of course, finish what I'm doing, which is setting up these electronic circuits. We will wrap this up with these. With these getting produced, and we will be well on our way to having wonderful things. Wonderful rails. I love rails. Rails are good things. Ironic, considering how I was very much like anti-rail for a very long time. I was not into rails at all for quite a while. I'm actually gonna shove those that way. I just didn't use them forever because I was being lazy and didn't want to learn how to use them. But now that I know, oh boy, we're using them a lot. Okay, there's our 4 per second ish of glorious, beautiful stuff and things. Yes, so I've got steel, I've got green electronic circuits, and I've got the ability to handcraft things now. Oh boy, gimme. Gimme blue inserters. I want all of the things. I want all of the things. Everything. I want it all. I want all of it. All the things must be mine now. Which means that in our next episode, it is time to automate. It is time to make mall. Belt-fed mall from bus mini mall zone, where I will be doing all of the things. All of the things. It'll be beautiful, magnificent, and wonderful, and glorious, and it will consume a fair amount of width on this bus, but hey, we're gonna go with it. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm just gonna clear up some of this stuff as I do, and we're gonna start ending things off here. With that, folks, today we got through the production of steel, as well as producing green circuits on the main bus. I would very much like to thank you all for watching. This has been, again, Dr. Showboat. If you've enjoyed this video and the series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat and support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will, of course, see you all on the next one where we will be doing some automation. I will see you all then.